Hey, Shalom. I like to give all praises, glory, and honors to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, Bashem Rakakwadash. I like to give double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who rule well. Peace, salutations, and blessings to the elect who firmly believe on Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. And I'm entitled this lesson, World War III is inevitable. You know, there's always war talk going on. We know that to be because the prophecy, the scriptures speak upon wars and rumors of wars. And here it is. We got this great president, you know what I'm saying, sitting in the president's seat, of this corporation called America. And he's pretty much a live wire, as you can see. He's a live wire. I personally believe he's going to win this second election, even if there is one. Salakia. And he made a statement, earlier this week on his Twitter account. It says, according to press reports, Iran may be planning an assassination or other attack against the United States in retaliation for the killing of terrorist leader Soleimani, which was carried out for his planning a future attack murdering U.S. troops and the death and suffering caused over so many years. Any attack by Iran in any form against the United States will be met with an attack on Iran that will be 1,000 times greater in magnitude, and those are the president's sentiments, upon that matter, and it's inevitable, it's going to happen, whether, like this prophecy says, the least of the flock shall draw them out, as Israel, making attempts on Iran, and America's forced to back, Israel in that case and scenario. However, we'll just have to see how it actually plays out, right? But the first scripture I want to get into is Revelation chapter 11 verse 14. It says, "The second woe is past, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly." The second the second woe is talking about World War II, because, woe is a representation of destruction, and so when the scripture is speaking upon woes, it speaks upon the destruction that World War II had caused. Yeah, what World War I, which was which actually took place in, I believe, what's that, from 1914 to 1918. That's when World War I took place. And as far as World War II, that took place 1939 till about 1945. And it says, and it actually says, the third woe cometh quickly. So we know that there's going to be a third world war. All of these countries, Russia, Iran, China, North Korea, South Korea, America, Israel, these particular main countries, there's been, threats being made, everybody's gearing up, preparing their missiles, in the case of scenario of that actually happening, so it's in a matter of, not how, but when, you know, that's all it actually boils down to, you know, and, this particular war is going to be a nuclear war. This is going to be the war to end all the wars. This is going to be the war that's going to usher in the kingdom of heaven. You know, this is 2020, the year of prophecy, you know. So what other to do than to prophesy, right? This is Joel chapter 2, verse 1. It says, "Blow ye the trumpet in Zion, and sound an alarm in my holy mountain. Let all the inhabitants of the land tremble, for the day of the Lord cometh, for it is nigh at hand, a day of darkness and of gloominess, a day of clouds and thick darkness," because that's what, those thermonuclear missiles is going to cause. It's going to cause darkness and gloominess, a day of clouds and thick darkness. As the morning spread upon the mountains, a great people and a strong, there have not been ever the like, neither shall be any more after it, even to the years of many generations. A fire devoureth before them, and that's that's pretty much the missiles, being detonated. It's talking about those missiles being detonated, coming up out of the Shiloh. It says, and behind them a flame burneth. The land is as the Garden of Eden before them, and behind them a desolate wilderness. Yeah, and nothing shall escape them. That's right. Nothing's going to be able to escape this destruction. In actuality, um, the missiles is going to serve a dual purpose, because what was the Garden of Eden at that particular time? It was pretty much, Eden means paradise, and with those missiles being detonated and shot off, it's going to turn, the world, to paradise again. Everything's going to be able to be replenished, so to speak. The only thing that's not going to be rejuvenated is America, also known as Babylon the Great, right? It says, the appearance of them is as the appearance of horses, and as horsemen, so shall they run. And it's talking about the missiles, it's talking about the missiles. It says, like the noise of chariots on the tops of mountains shall they leap, like the noise of a flame of fire that devoureth the stubble, as a strong people set in battle array. Before their face the people shall be much pain, all faces shall gather blackness. It says, they shall run like mighty men. They shall climb the wall like men of war, meaning what? America's defense mechanisms are not going to be able to block off the missiles that's going to be shot upon this place, because there's going to be 200 million missiles that's going to hit the soils of America. You can only imagine that type of destruction, But we have the hopeful elect. We have nothing to worry about, We're doing what we need to do, for Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua to have mercy upon us. Lord willing, he has mercy upon us. It says, they shall run like mighty men. They shall climb the wall like men of war. And they shall march everyone on his ways, and they shall not break their ranks. That's right. They're going to be in line. They're going to be in order. Why? Because the spirit of Yahweh, the Heavenly Father, is going to be in the missiles as well, guiding them. It's going to be a GPS on this thing. It says, neither shall one thrust another. They shall walk everyone in his path. And when they fall upon the sword, they shall not be wounded. They shall run to and fro in the city. They shall run up the wall. The wall meaning what? The defenses. They shall climb up upon the houses. They shall enter in at the windows like a thief. So what's going to go? It's going to go through the when these missiles get shot off, they go through the ozone layer. The ionosphere, the stratosphere, and everything like that. It shoots up, and then what? It comes down to hit its target. So that's how these missiles are coming, man. It says, the earth shall quake before them, the heavens shall tremble, the sun and the moon shall be dark, and the stars shall withdraw their shining. And the Lord utter his voice before his army, for his camp is very great. For he is strong that executeth his word. For the day of the Lord is great and terrible. Who can abide it? Who can abide it? No one's going to be able to abide it. Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua got a lot of destruction coming on the soils of America because of all the wickedness that it upholds, man. And here it is, Donald Trump is making this bold statement as if America is a top tier in this Third World War. Man, look, America's going to be the victim, okay? America is going to get the shitty end of the stick, so to speak, all right? Because what? America is never going to be repopulated again. Yeah, all of Israel is going to be destroyed. 3/5 of Russia is going to be destroyed. But at least they have the choice and option. Well, not the choice and option, but at least they're going to be rehabilitated, so to speak. America isn't. Okay, America isn't. And that's something that these patriotic bastards out here don't want to hear. But we're going to tell you anyway, right? This is Jeremiah chapter 50. Let me start at verse 9. It says, for lo, I will raise and cause to come up against Babylon, which is America, an assembly of great nations from the north country. And they shall set themselves in array against her. So what these countries, because even Iran's allies, is Russia, China, North Korea, So if Iran goes to war, so does the rest of these countries, right? It says, and they shall set themselves in array against her. From thence she shall be taken. Their arrows shall be as of a mighty expert man. None shall return in vain. Those arrows is talking about a missile. How do we know an arrow is a missile? Because even the term Broken Arrow is is known to be a missing missile. Broken Arrow. You know, so it says the arrow shall be as of mighty expert men, none shall return in vain. Meaning every missile shot off is going to hit America. Every missile shot off that's supposed to hit America is going to hit America. You got America's own allies that's going to shoot missiles on America. That's part of the prophecy, right? Um, Reading on, it says, and none shall return in vain. It says, and Chaldea shall be a spoil, and all that spoil her shall be satisfied, save the Lord. Because you are glad, because ye rejoice, O ye destroyers of mine heritage, because you are grown fat as the heifer at grass, and bellow as bulls. Your mothers shall be sore confounded. And that's talking about Great Britain, because America got their independence out of Great Britain, and one moment, Salakia. America got their independence from Great Britain. So it says, your mother shall be sore confounded. She that bare you shall be ashamed. Behold, the hindermost of the nations shall be a wilderness, a dry land, and a desert. So even Great Britain's going to be shooting missiles on America. It says, because of the wrath of the Lord, it shall not be inhabited, but it shall be wholly desolate. Everyone that goeth by Babylon shall be astonished and hiss at all her plagues. Put yourselves in array against Babylon, round about, all ye that bend the bow. Shoot at her, spare no hours, spare no arrows, for she have sinned against the Lord. And how has America sinned against the Lord? Hey, for one, they passed laws on same-sex marriage. That's a sin worthy unto death, man. That's a sin worthy unto death. But you could just take a look at America, all the vow. They promote bestiality. They're on the brink of promoting and passing laws on pedophilia. They splicing DNA cells. They're mixing mingling seeds. They got chemtrails in the air. They got GMO foods. Like they promote what you call it? What's about to say? They promote false religion. They promote false religion, and they pretty much hate the good and love the evil, so to speak, here in Babylon the Great. So they got to pay for all of that. This is Jeremiah chapter 51, verse 1. Thus saith the Lord, behold, I will raise up against Babylon and against them that dwell in the midst of them that rise up against me a destroying wind. That's right, that wind is those thermonuclear missiles. It says, and will send unto Babylon fanners, because what keeps the fire going? A fan. That shall fan her and shall empty her land. For in the day of trouble they shall be against her round about. And against him that bendeth, let the archer bend his bow. And against him that lifteth himself up in his bringadine, and spare ye not her young men. Destroy ye utterly all her hosts. Thus the slain shall fall in the land of the Chaldeans, and they that are thrust through in her streets. For Israel have not been forsaken, nor Judah of his power, of the Lord of hosts, though their land was filled with sin against the Holy One of Israel. Flee out of the midst of Babylon, and deliver every man his soul. Be not cut off in her iniquity, for this is the time of the Lord's vengeance. He will render unto her a recompense. Babylon hath been a golden cup in the Lord's hand, that made all the earth drunken. That's right. All these nations have sipped out of this golden cup that America had to offer. When it comes to this democracy, when it comes to this the fashion, when it comes to the lifestyle, when it comes to the slang, when it comes to the belief system, they have made all the earth to drunken, right? The nations have drunken of her wine, which is what? Philosophies. Therefore the nations are mad. Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. Howl for her, take balm for her pain. If so, she may be healed. But we would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. So there's no stimulus package that can be given unto America that's going to heal it. There's no what do you call it? For example, in Colorado, I want to say back in like 2015 and 16, they legalized marijuana, and the state actually was able to get out of debt. There's no way of legalizing any form of substance to be able to get out of the debt that America is currently in. You know, it's nothing's going to be able to buy America out of its destruction that the Lord got set. It says, forsake her and let us go everyone into his own country, for her judgment reacheth unto heaven and is lifted up even to the skies. Why? Because the sins have reached up to the heavens. The time of judgment is very near, man. The time of judgment is very near. And here it is. You got Donald Trump being boisterous. It says, make bright the arrows, gather the shields. The Lord have raised up the spirit of the kings of the Medes for his device. It is against Babylon to destroy it, because it is the vengeance of Yahweh, the Most High, the vengeance of his temple. Set up the standard, and upon the walls of Babylon make the watch strong. Set up the watchmen, prepare the ambushes. For the Lord hath both devised and done that which he spake against the inhabitants of Babylon. So all of this is being laid out already. The destruction of Babylon, also known as America, is already being laid out. We in a time now waiting for it to be played out. You know what I'm saying? That's all. It says, O thou that dwellest upon many waters, abundant in treasures. The waters is talking about the nations. You know, there's a lot of nations, you know, that dwell here in America, and to prove that, right? Let me get Revelation chapter 17, verse 15. And that's why, you know, a lot of people can't understand the Bible, because it's written in parabolic form. You know, and it says, Revelation 17 and 15, and he saith unto me, the waters which thou sawest, where the whore sitteth, the whore talking about America, are peoples and multitudes and nations and tongues. So when scripture speak upon waters in the context, that's it's talking about other nations, right? It's talking about the other nations. So jumping back. Let me see where we at. It says, oh, that dwellest upon many waters, abundant in treasures. You know what I'm saying? Because you can pretty much get anything you want in America. You know, check out Amazon. If a thought comes to mind that's of something you want to purchase, you're able to get it here in America. It says, oh, that dwellest upon many waters, abundant in treasures, thine end is come, and the measure of thy covetousness. The Lord of hosts hath sworn by himself, saying, surely I will fill thee with men, and as with caterpillars they shall lift up a shout against thee. He hath made the earth by his power, he hath established the world by his wisdom, and hath stretched out the heaven by his understanding. When he uttereth his voice, there is a multitude of waters in the heavens, and he causeth the vapors to ascend from the ends of the earth. He maketh lightnings with rain, and bringeth forth the wind out of his treasures. Every man is brutish by his knowledge, every founder is confounded by the graven image, for his molten image is falsehood, and there is no breath in them. You know, because the only breath that matters is the breath of what? Yahweh, of who? Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. That's all that matters. You know, all of these false idols that these different nations serve is to no avail. Last and final scripture. This is Revelation 18 and 1. And after these things, I saw another angel come down from heaven, having great power, and the earth was lighted with his glory. And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the great is fallen, and is become the habitation of devils, and the hold of every foul spirit, and a cage of every unclean and hateful bird. For all nations have drunk the wine of the wrath of her fornication, and the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her. You know, that got to be talking about America. That's how we know Babylon the Great to be America. All the other nations, hey, they got a movie called Coming to America. You know, everybody wanted to come to America to get a better life. It's just it. We know this to be America. It says, for all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication, and the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her. And the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies. You know, and that's that great whore. You know, everybody got rich off of America. And I heard another voice from heaven saying, come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins, and that ye receive not of her plagues. For her sins have reached unto heaven, and the Most High Yahweh have remembered her iniquities. Reward her even as she rewarded you, and double unto her double according to her works. And the cup which she hath filled, fill to her double. how much she have glorified herself and lived deliciously, so much torment and sorrow give her. For she saith in her heart, I sit a queen, and I am no widow, and shall see no sorrow. That's the pride of America. Look what Donald Trump just said, man. That proves this is talking about America. You know, America feels like it's going to reign forever. They feel like they're not going to see any sorrow. They feel like no judgment is going to fall upon this place. It says, therefore shall her plagues come in one day. It's therefore. It's called a rude awakening, right? Therefore shall her plagues come in one day. Death and mourning and famine. And she shall be utterly burned with fire, for strong is the Lord power who judgeth her. And the kings of the earth who have committed fornication and lived deliciously with her shall bewail her and lament for her when they see the smoke of her burning, standing afar off for the fear of her torment, saying, Alas, alas, that great city Babylon, that mighty city, for in 1 hour is thy judgment come. And the merchants of the earth shall weep and mourn over her, for no man buyeth their merchandise anymore. The merchandise of gold and silver and precious stones and pearls and fine linen and purple and silk and scarlet and all fine wood and all manner vessels of ivory and all manner vessels of most precious wood and of brass and iron and marble and cinnamon and odors and ointments and frankincense and wine and oil, fine and flour, wheat, beasts and sheep and horses and chariots and slaves and souls of men. All the fruits that thy soul lusted after are departed from thee, and all things which were dainty and goodly are departed from thee, and thou shalt find them no more at all. And that's the judgment of America. That's the judgment of America. This is what Yahweh Bashem Yahushua has coming. And it's a beautiful thing. It's a very beautiful thing. And brothers, we have to be happy that these things is happening, because these things have to happen in order for us to receive the kingdom. You know what I'm saying? In order for us to receive the kingdom, all of the harsh realities that's written in this book, the plagues that are written in this book, has to come to pass. It's not for us to be shaken nor worried about. So, Lord willing, this lesson was edifying unto the elect. World War III is inevitable. And, hey, Donald Trump for president. Right? So with that, I'd like to give all praises, glory, and honors to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, Bashem Rakakwadash. I'd like to give double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who rule well. Peace, salutations, and blessings to the elect. Shalom.